Good evening. It's back to school time for America's children, and while drug and alcohol abuse cuts across all generations, it's especially damaging to the young people on whom our future depends. So tonight, from our family to yours, from our home to yours, thank you for joining us.
Sit down, children. Mr. Johnson isn't in today. I'll be your substitute teacher. My name is Mr. DeSay.
Yeah. Today's class we'll be learning about jail. Poor people await trial cause they can't afford bail. Rich people commit crimes but never see a sale. The American criminal justice system is for sale. Let's start with inmates, they do their time in GP. That's general population like you see on TV. Well, some folks get stabbed to death occasionally, so rich inmates do their time in PC. No kids, not politically correct. Protective custody is for those who can write the check. It's a safe haven away from danger. Fake prison for famous people like Lil Wayne and Paris Hilton. Now let's discuss the governmental fabrication of colored thugs and racial sentencing inequity spawned by the war on drugs.
But Mr. DeSager, we don't understand.
See kids, Ronald Reagan was a very smart man.
America has accomplished so much in these last few years. We have increased seizures of illegal drugs. Shortages of marijuana are now being reported. Last year alone, over 10,000 drug criminals were convicted. Now, we need your support again. Drugs are menacing our society.
See, the president made a promise in the 80s to make a profit for the country to change the market. A plan called Reaganomics, which took food from welfare and fed it to Wall Street, so little kids just like you no longer have food to eat. Coincidentally, then came the introduction of crack, flooding inner city communities populated by browns and blacks. And even though coke and crack was virtually the same thing, punishment was 10 times worse for crack than cocaine. So propaganda was spread that blacks were sick in the head, and white people were taught to fear black people again. Then an unprecedented boom of arrests were made by presidential goons. Till the prison population spiked and there wasn't enough room. So big business was invited to join in the exploitation to build revenues with higher expectations. And that marked the privatization of incarceration, negating advances made by the Emancipation Proclamation.
We begin with equality. It's the origin, isn't it? That's justice. Abolishing slavery settles the fate for millions now in bondage, and unborn millions to come. Shall we stop this bleeding?
So with the revival of the spirit of Jim Crow law, the poor got poorer, rich ate like hogs. So today it's free labor, modern day slave tactics. And yes, we are complicit every time we pay taxes. So one day, depending on your socioeconomic status, some of you will become slaves, others slave masters.
But Mr. DeSager, what if we want to be equal?
That, kids, is what we call power of the people. See, the future lies within the strength of the minds and the size of the hearts of the American youth. In order to rise, we must unite. Carry torches of light through the dark for civil rights. Don't go down without a fight. Let our voices grow loud until it's a battle cry in defense of the freedoms of every woman and man alive. Disempower the prison industrial complex. Cause if you don't, who knows, you just might be next.